Hi, George from Digital High Road here. In today's video, SEO, image optimization, and using WordPress. That's what we're going to be talking about. I have a couple examples we're going to go through, from the purchase of the images to the optimization of the images in an article in WordPress. If today's video, if you get value from it, please give us a large thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, and also reach over there and hit the bell icon. Tap it a couple times so that you get notified every time I publish a new video to our site. I'd also like to let you know that there's a link down in the description for free training. Free training, that's right, free training. It's available today to you, and take advantage of that. You can build an online business. That's what I'm using to build my business. The free training, click the link down in the description. Take advantage of that offering today. And let's move on to today's video subject, SEO, images, and using WordPress. So in today's video, what we're going to do is look at some images. And the images we have are right here. And then I want to talk about, got some talking points here I want to talk about. And what we're going to do, just to set the tone for what we're going to talk about in this video, is that there is always a need to identify, and when you're working with a WordPress site, whether it's your content, you want to identify to Google what it is your content is about. You want to identify to your user what your content is about by the way you write and what you give them. And the keywords you are basically the keywords that you are concentrating on and you're writing the article around. Well, the same thing goes, that the images will help enhance your writing. And so what I always say is, if you look at images, what you need to do is think about three things. Let them work for you. So pick images that will help your content. They help tell your story. If it's something you need to be bringing to someone's attention, the user's attention more, a picture, an image can do that very well for you. So it can help you tell your story. And it also helps to break up content so that you don't lose the reader to what they call boring. And if they're bored, then they'll leave your site. Like right now, this is one of the articles we're going to add some images to. Now right now I went through and I formatted it. I set up H2 tags. I bolded, print. I spaced things out. But what we need to do is add some spice. And some spice to this content will be adding some images. So they'll help tell the story as well. Now what you'll want to do as well is remember that you have two people looking at your site. Two types of situations. You have what we call the user, the viewer, the person that found your site. That's a human being that's going to respond or not respond to your site. And then the other person is going to be a person in the sense that it's a mechanical, it's a bot. And it's Google sends out bots to search websites and web properties so they know how to index them. And they also have other search engines that are online that do the same thing. They send out bots too. So not only are you talking and communicating with the viewer about what you see and what they see and hear from your page, your property, but you also want to be talking to them in your HTML code. And in the code in the background, it's where the bots are looking. The bots are looking and reading and scanning and indexing everything you're providing for them. So what you want to do is provide basically what I'm going to show you today is we're going to look at three things in an image that's on a post or a page that will help tremendously if they're in the image properly. They'll help you to an advantage with Google bots or other search engine bots. These is whether the title has a keyword that's the title of the image, and that whether you use an alt tag in your image for SEO and for identity for the bot. And then if you use a caption, if it's appropriate in the photo as well, it'll help tell the story if there's something you want said in the caption. Now, just wanted to real quickly run by you what an alt tag is. Alt tags are probably the most important part outside of the keyword. Having your main keyword at least once in one photo, one image on each post is key, because that's basically backing up what you're writing is concentrating on one main keyword. The title of the photo is also supporting that with Google, that you have a picture. You're not only writing, but you have a picture to back that up. Now, the alt tag is an attribute. If you look it up on Google, look for terms, it's an alternative text. It's another way that you, in the picture, you're identifying what you want the picture to be looked at as a description to the bot. What do you want Google to know about this image? Now, I also want to remind you that while you're looking at the image, that you can also, like I said, you can also use captions. But if you get a person who's blind and using Braille, or if you get, and this happens, you'll get a page where a picture for some reason doesn't load up on your page or your post, the alt tag will show up right in the middle of the area where the photo is, the image is. Your alt tag will be there. If it's a proper identity, then people will have an idea what that picture is about. They can't see the picture, but they'll have an identity. So not only will the bots know about it, but the visual will be spotted. The alt tag will show up. Like it says, your alt tags will be displayed in place of an image if an image file cannot be loaded. And alt tags also provide better image context descriptions to search engine crawlers, the bots, helping them to index an image properly. Let's move on. We're going to look at some examples of how I do it, and we'll look at a couple of these posts, and we'll move on into that now. Okay, as we move into the next section of what I'm going to show you is some practical, exactly how I add the images and what I do to optimize them. So what I've done is this was the backdrop, was that I had written a couple articles. I used these keywords right here to be support for articles that were concentrating mainly on these keywords here. What I usually do with an article is I take one main keyword, let's say like leg cues, Western writing, and I write an article about it. And then what I do is I use another secondary and a tertiary. I use 1 and 2 more keyword phrases as support in this article. So each article of mine will be optimized in the writing part for 3 keyword phrases. And then what I've done is I usually would take these extra keywords, and these will be used in the images. And they might also be a 4th keyword phrase somewhere in the article, or even a 5th or a 6th keyword phrase that's mentioned in the article. So the article has some versatility to it. It's not just one main keyword that you're stuffing in everywhere. Now, a few years ago, that was how you won with Google. You would keyword stuff. But after the main updates, the pandas and like that back in 2014, 2015, that disappeared. You had to start becoming smarter and more intelligent and not make Google out as a fool, but as someone that can help you out if you learn to use the system the way they have it set up. So I've got today, what we're going to use is we've got this article here, and I've also got this article here. What we're going to do is I'm going to go through, we're going to take some images. We're going to take some images that we have, and then we're going to bring up the images, and we're going to talk about the images. We're going to put them in my WordPress site, then we're going to put them and insert them in and optimize them. So that'll be what we're going to do next. Okay, now that I've got the pictures, I've got the original pictures. If you look at the size of them, they were very large. I went through and I webbed them down. I made web images of each of them. They are uniform sizes. These are all 1024 by 681. These 6 photos that I'm going to use. Now, what we're going to do is we want to squeeze these down a bit to save some space to help with my site loading up faster. So at the moment I've just put the 6 these are all web images, and they've compressed, so I've gained this much space before I put them in my WordPress site. So I'm going to download all of these. Okay, so I'm using TinyTNG. It's a free site to basically shrink down, compress the images. Now you see I saved 59% space, 51, 86, 80, 74, 84. I've just downloaded all of these to my folder here. Now all my pictures, if we pull this up here, I've got the original sizes. See, these are like 4,900 by 7,360 pixels. That's a lot. I went through and I took each one of them and I made the web. And then I also now just went in and compressed them. So they're compressed. Now I'm going to use them in my website. So that's the next step. We're going to go to the website next. Okay, so now I'm in my dashboard for my WordPress site. And I'm going to go to the media. And we're going to add new. And that's going to come up. Now what we can do is we'll add new. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my folder in here. And then I'm going to look for all the tiny images. And I'm just going to drop them in here, drag and drop. There's 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so far I've done everything up to maximize site speed and to optimize for SEO. Now, I've got the 6 photos. We're going to use these 6 images, 6 photos in our pages. That's going to be our next step. Okay, now I've decided, because I have a long article and I have a short article. Okay, so the short one is going to have 2 images. The long article is going to have 4 images. So I have a lot more content that I have to space up and break up with the images. So let's do the small article first. Now what I like to do is I always like to lead off for the photo. So I'm going to put my mouse right here and I'm going to read up here and add media. And what we're going to do is I'm going to find, I like this one here, so it's a lead image. Now I'm going to come over here. Now this is got the title. I want to take these 2 out. Okay, I want basically leg cues for turning a horse. I'm going to select all. I'm going to copy this. That's my title, my keyword in my title. I'm going to make that the same for my alt text. And then my description is going to be the same thing as well. I want these 3, alt text, title, description, filled in. Now this one I've decided I don't want a caption. And then I come down here and I want it on the left side. I like leading off with the left. And then I've got, basically because I did the same size, all my images are going to give me 3 different sizes usually. So I'm going to click on the medium one. I'm on the left side, it's going to put insert in post. Now there's my image to lead off my site. And then what I want to do is we're going to have some gate transitions. I'm going to put probably about here. I'm going to do one on the right. in here. And I'm going to come back up to media. And I think we're going to use this one here. So we're going to click on that one. And then we're going to do the same thing here. I don't want tiny web in here. I just want the keyword. So the keyword here is this here. And I'm going to copy that. I'm going to put that in for my alt text. And I want that in for my description as well. And I'm going to put in here a caption, enjoy controlled writing. Because this whole article is about, there must be two L's, okay. This whole article is about controlling your horse and teaching them. So there's that. We're going to go to the right. We're going to use medium again. And we're going to insert that there as well. Now, I'm going to save the draft. And then what we can do is we can look at what we have here. And what you have here is you have your article. It's broken up. It's formatted. There's another image, and that's the end of the article. Now, maybe I could have put the image up in here. That might be a better thing. But at the moment, I decided to split 6 images amongst 2 articles, so I'm going to use 2 in this one and 4 in the other. So then we have the last article, the second article. This is quite a bit longer. So we're going to take 4 images and split this content up with 4 images. And we've got, this is all about reins and leg aids and controlling your horse with your leg and body movement. So we're going to do 1 in here. We're going to find an image. Now remember, we had 6. So looking at it, I'm saying, well, this will probably be a good lead-off image here. And again, we want to just take these out. Western writing cues. We're going to copy this. This will become our alt text in here. This will become our description as well. And then we're going to pick left again for lead. And we're going to pick the medium. So there's the lead image for that. And let's divide this up. I think we'll do a faster gate. We'll split that up here. We'll do a right photo here. And basically horses are running faster. So I think this one matches up with this. So we'll do the same thing here. I'm going to select all on this and copy. And just alt tag becomes this keyword phrase. Description becomes this keyword phrase. And then we're going to to right the same size image and insert that into post. Now, there, that looks pretty good. Now, all we got to do is we'll do the last 2, and then the article will be completed. Okay, so I went through the next 2 images to be put to 4 in this article. I did one here. And then I did one down here. Now, I didn't do any captions, but after I go through this, I may add a caption in here. And I just wanted to show you what the article looks like once it's been formatted and spread out. The pictures are more telling stories about helping you tell your story and controlling your horse with reins and leg movement and weight shifting. Now, just wanted to show you real quick. This is in the visual. We'll go to text mode. I just want to show you what the images are going to look like once they're highlighted. Now you've got the medium-sized image aligned right. And then you've got right here, your alt tag. Your alt tag says Western leg riding cues. Your tiny web, your image here, Western riding leg cues, is part of the image description as well. And each one of these images will have that information that their bots are reading. Here's the next one. I'll give you the size of the image as well. So that's what today's video is about, installing images in our post on our WordPress site after we've optimized them, so that you end up having a nice looking article like this. So if you received value from this video today, please give us a large thumbs up. Also, don't forget to add any comments below the video if you have any. We'd like to hear from you. And also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. And while you're at it, reach over there and hit the bell icon so you get notified every time we publish a new video to our channel. And I also want to remind you that down in the description below the video, there's always a link there for great free training. Free training that's available to you today. Why don't you get started today on getting yourself squared up with creating your own online video that's profitable, something you can be proud of. The training is available today. Click the link to get the free training, to get access to that training today. And I want to thank you for watching the video today, and thank you for being part of our channel. And so long.